I learned early that my family loved performance more than people. Approval came with conditions. Silence came with punishment. My mother controlled the room without raising her voice. She did it with looks, pauses, and comparisons. From the outside, we looked polished. From the inside, everything felt sharp. I was never the child she wanted. I was quiet. I watched more than I spoke. I did not chase attention. I did not compete for praise. That made me a problem. My siblings learned how to survive her moods. They copied her tone. They laughed when she laughed. They learned that cruelty earned safety. I became the contrast, the example, the warning. Every gathering followed the same pattern. She asked about my life in a way that invited judgment. She listened only to respond. She corrected me in front of others. She compared me to my siblings like it was helpful advice. I worked in cybersecurity. I liked my work precise and unseen. I protected systems. I fixed problems quietly. I never needed applause. That made my success invisible to her. In her world, success had to be loud. Titles had to impress strangers. Money had to show. She called my career small. She said I was hiding. She said I lacked ambition. I learned to nod. I learned to breathe slowly. I learned that reacting only fed her. The brunch was meant to celebrate my sister. A promotion. A reservation at a place she could post about. Phones were out before menus arrived. I felt the tension the moment I sat down. My mother hugged me just long enough to whisper that I should try to look awake today. The comments started early. Why do you dress like that? Why are you still single? Why do you never try harder? Each one landed softly but stacked heavy. I drank water. I kept my posture straight. I reminded myself it would end soon. Then she leaned back and looked at me. Her voice carried. Still doing that little computer thing. My sister laughed. My brother lifted his phone. I corrected her calmly. Cybersecurity. She smiled. The smile she used when she wanted to teach a lesson. She said, "Watch this." She lifted her coffee slowly. She held my eyes. She said, "That is how we treat trash." Then she poured on me. It hit my shoulder, my chest, my lap. Hot and sticky. Public and deliberate. The table froze for a breath. Then laughter. Then phones closer. Someone told her to say it again. Someone said get her face. I felt heat on my skin, but cold in my chest. I did not scream. I did not cry. I stood up. I picked up my napkin. I wiped my hands. My mother looked satisfied, like she had restored order, like she had won. I walked away from the table and out the door. In the parking lot, my phone started vibrating. Messages stacked. Tags. Mentions. They had posted the video, captioned it, mocked it, shared it with their friends. I did not respond. I went home. I showered. I changed clothes. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Silence felt safer than any explanation. By morning, the video had spread beyond their circle. Strangers were watching. Something shifted. Comments changed. People asked questions. Why is everyone filming? Why does the mother sound proud? Why does the woman not react? Someone recognized the restaurant. Someone connected my name to my work. The tone turned. Not toward me. Toward them. I still said nothing. At work, my manager asked to speak privately. His voice was careful, concerned. I told him the truth without drama. He listened. He nodded. He told me to take whatever time I needed. That afternoon, my inbox filled with support. Colleagues, clients, people who knew my work. They did not ask me to explain. They thanked me for my professionalism. They respected my silence. The internet did what my family never expected. It saw cruelty clearly. It did not need my defense. It did not need my tears. That was when I understood something important. Staying quiet was not surrender. It was control. By the third day, the video had moved far beyond their circle. It reached coworkers, clients, and people who recognized my mother's face from charity events and board photos. That was when panic started. Not regret. Panic. My mother called first. Her voice was sharp and urgent. She did not ask if I was okay. She told me to delete my accounts. She told me to stop this narrative. She said people were misunderstanding her. She said it was a joke taken out of context. I did not answer. My siblings followed, one after another. Their voices sounded different now. Tight, defensive. They said people were attacking them. They said comments were cruel. They said their employers had questions. I still said nothing. Silence works when the evidence speaks clearly. Messages from strangers filled my phone. Some were angry on my behalf. Some were gentle. Many said the same thing. I am sorry this happened to you. You did not deserve that. Watching you stay calm gave me courage. I read them quietly. I did not respond. Journalists reached out next. Emails asking for statements. Requests for interviews. I declined every one. I knew attention would only shift the focus. I wanted the truth to stand alone. Meanwhile, the consequences began to surface. A brand quietly removed my sister from a campaign. A speaking event was canceled without explanation. My brother's company scheduled a meeting that kept getting extended. Each delay carried weight. My mother tried again. This time she came to my apartment. She stood outside like nothing had happened, like she had not poured coffee on her daughter in public. When I opened the door, she did not apologize. She accused. You ruined us. I listened. Calm. Grounded. You embarrassed me. You let strangers judge us. You should have shut this down. I looked at her and spoke slowly. You poured the coffee. You filmed it. You posted it. Her face changed. Anger cracked into fear. She said I owed her loyalty. She said family comes before pride. She said I was ungrateful. I told her something I had never said before. Respect comes before loyalty. She laughed at first. Then she cried. Then she threatened legal action. None of it moved me. I closed the door. That was the last time we spoke in person. Online, the narrative settled. People stopped speculating and started recognizing patterns. Old posts resurfaced. Comments my mother had made on others' photos. Jokes that were not jokes. Humiliation disguised as humor. The public did not see a single incident anymore. They saw a history. My family attempted damage control. Carefully worded apologies appeared. Statements about stress and misunderstandings. They avoided responsibility. It only made things worse. At work, something unexpected happened. A senior position opened. One that required discretion and trust. I had never applied. My manager asked if I would consider it. He said my calm under pressure mattered. He said my silence spoke of maturity. I accepted. The raise helped. The role challenged me. But the real change was internal. I moved apartments. I changed my number. I stopped attending events where I felt watched. I filtered my email. I created distance without announcements. The backlash against my family continued quietly. My mother lost her board position. Officially, it was a restructuring. Everyone knew the real reason. Reputation matters when your image is your currency. My sister was placed on leave. My brother resigned before formal action could be taken. They blamed me in private messages I never opened. I felt nothing. That absence of feeling scared me at first. I expected guilt. I expected grief. What I felt instead was clarity. The humiliation never hurt because it was public. It hurt because it came from the people who were supposed to protect me. Once that illusion broke, the pain had nowhere to stay. I wrote letters I never sent. I let myself mourn the family I never had. I let the idea of reconciliation die. Healing did not arrive dramatically. It arrived quietly, in uninterrupted sleep, in mornings without dread, in conversations where no one waited to cut me down. One evening, weeks later, I watched the video again. not to punish myself, to understand it. I saw a woman sitting still while cruelty unfolded. I saw her stand without a word. I saw her walk away. She did not look weak. She looked finished. That was when I knew I would never go back. Time did not rush in to fix anything. It moved slowly, quietly. The internet shifted its attention as it always does. New scandals, new outrage. My family faded from the spotlight. I did not. I stayed exactly where I was, watching, choosing, breathing. People around me expected a victory lap. They expected relief mixed with satisfaction. They expected anger to finally surface. It never did. What replaced it was distance. Clean, wide, necessary. My extended family began reaching out through indirect paths. An aunt sent a long message about forgiveness. A cousin said my mother was not sleeping. Someone else said I should consider how hard this was on everyone. No one asked how it felt to be humiliated in public. No one asked how long it took to stop shaking when I heard my phone buzz. I did not reply. I learned something during those weeks. Explanations invite debate. Silence ends it. My mother sent emails I never opened. She framed herself as misunderstood. She framed me as dramatic. She framed the incident as stress. She never framed it as abuse. That told me everything. At work, my world expanded in ways that felt earned. Not flashy, not performative. Meetings where my input mattered. Decisions that carried weight. People who trusted my judgment without testing it. I was not invisible anymore. I was respected. I began therapy. Not because I was broken, because I wanted to understand why I stayed quiet for so long, why I accepted humiliation as normal, why I believed dignity had to be earned through endurance. Those sessions hurt more than the coffee ever did. I talked about childhood dinners, about jokes that landed only on me, about praise given conditionally, about love used as leverage. Naming it stripped it of power. I stopped minimizing. I stopped saying it was not that bad. It was that bad, and worse. As weeks turned into months, my family tried new angles. Gifts sent through delivery services, cards with vague apologies, messages that said we should talk. I sent nothing back. Boundaries are not punishments. They are protection. I built routines that belonged only to me. Morning walks without anxiety. Evenings without anticipating criticism. Weekends that did not require emotional armor. Peace felt unfamiliar at first, like waiting for something to break. When it did not, I learned to trust it. Occasionally, someone recognized me from the video. They were always careful, always kind. They told me watching me stay calm changed something in them. They said they walked away from toxic parents, from abusive partners, from jobs that humiliated them publicly. I listened. I thanked them. I did not claim credit. I did not set out to be an example. I set out to survive. My mother attempted one final confrontation, not in person, through a mutual contact. She wanted to meet privately. She wanted closure. What she wanted was control. I declined. Closure does not come from those who caused the wound. It comes from deciding you no longer need their permission to heal. The last message she sent reached me by accident. A forwarded email. A mistake. It said I was cold, ungrateful, disloyal. I smiled when I read it, not because it hurt, because it no longer could. I was not cold. I was done. I did not feel joy at their consequences. I did not feel guilt either. I felt neutral. That neutrality was freedom. Revenge implies intent. This was not revenge. This was exposure. They showed the world exactly who they were. I simply refused to interrupt. I changed my number again. I removed old contacts. I stopped sharing updates through people who still spoke to them. My life became smaller in the best way. Fewer voices, clearer days. I stopped rehearsing conversations that would never happen. I stopped imagining apologies that would never come. I stopped hoping. Hope had kept me stuck longer than fear ever did. One night, I sat alone with the lights off and realized something simple and final. I no longer missed them. I missed the idea of a family. I missed the version that never existed. Once I separated those truths, the ache disappeared. What replaced it was self-respect. If you are watching this because your family humiliates you in public, if they disguise cruelty as humor, if they film your pain and call it bonding, understand this. You do not owe them your silence forever, but you also do not owe them your reaction. Walking away calmly can be louder than screaming. You do not win by proving them wrong. You win by removing yourself from the game. I did not rebuild my life to show them anything. I rebuilt it because I deserved a life that did not require endurance to exist. That brunch did not break me. It clarified me. I left with nothing but my dignity. It turned out to be enough.